Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Whew. So, Junior's getting up on his roost. It's getting about that time, but I'm not done working for the day. I just wanted to check how much feed was in. Yep, I need to fill his feeder today. Those 10 babies, and had 3 adult hens over here. And him, they eat more feed than the rest, but I let them out, and within 10 minutes, one of the black hens flew up on top of this gate that I built and jumped over in there. Just as happy as she could be. Didn't jump out in the yard, jumped over another run with her friends. Then about 15-20 minutes later, the other black hen did the same thing. Flew up to the top of this gate, jumped over in there, and they're happy as they can be. So the gray one with brown on her has been pacing back and forth on this fence, trying to figure out how to get in there. So I'm like, well, they all want to be over there in the grassy area with Sue. I'm going to let them in there. So I opened the gate, and she ran on in. So that leaves Junior over here with nothing but the babies, you know, teenagers. But I saw him mount one of them yesterday. But the Rhode Island Reds are doing good. The little turkey's doing better. They're all getting along fine. So I'm just going to leave the babies in here with Junior. I mean, I can't make them stay in here, so I'm going to leave them there. But let me walk around and show y'all what I've been working on. When I got the fence to do the goat paddock, I got a full roll and 2 partial rolls. We figured altogether it was about 450 feet. Wasn't sure. I know a full roll is 330 feet. So we figured I had about 100 feet in the 2 partial rolls. So the dogs haven't gotten through this since I put the landscape timbers down. But my whole plan the whole time was to start at this corner post and put the cattle/goat fence there. So I got it nailed. Got out here yesterday. And this stuff is tight, y'all. Hooked my, I screwed 2 2x6s or 2x8s together with the fence in the middle. Excuse me, with the fence in the middle. And then I hooked my chains to the bucket on the tractor and I pulled till the tires were spinning. Then I locked the brakes down and nailed it to this corner of this post. And it's solid, it don't move. So then I stretched what was left out down the backside here. So now the dogs can't go under this fence. It's way too tight. They can't bend that wire up. And I ran this piece, but with this piece, it was the first partial roll. I ran out right here. About probably 12 feet or so from the corner post there. And I took the next partial roll, and you see I twisted the ends together. Every loop, every section. And then I pulled it with the tractor like I did down there and nailed it to this corner post. And this post is another one that's solid. It don't budge, it don't wiggle or nothing. So that ended my day yesterday. And all I had left to do was this little piece. Well, I wasn't thinking. I got it nailed to that board yesterday, but I didn't have it nailed to this post. Hadn't pulled it tight. I went to pull it today and I pulled this board off the chicken pen. I only had 3 screws in it. So I went back and put a dozen long 4-inch screws in there to go in and hit the stud in the chicken pen. And got it all secure and pulled it. And this thing is just about guitar string tight, y'all. Not quite, but it's not quite as tight as the rest of it. But it's right there on the ground, within 1 inch of the ground, if not less. And that ought to keep the dogs out. This is where they were running under the fence to get in and out back here. You see the fence, if I get up close, let me turn my light on. You see the chicken fence is 10 inches away from the goat fence because they've been pushing it in and running under it. So now they can't get in this run with Sue and his ladies. It's 100% secure. Unless they jump the fence, they cannot get in there. There's no way they're going under that fence. So this fence is now secure. I'm still not going to leave them all out when I'm not home. But it's secure. So I don't need the fence to back of the buildings here. And I say buildings because that's 3 different chicken pens that I put together to make one big one. But I went ahead and screwed this board with about a little more than a half a dozen, almost a dozen 4-inch screws. And I attached this section of fence to it. And I stretched it out. And believe it or not, it goes about a foot past the post where I want to connect it to. Just came out perfect. I won't have any waste whatsoever. And that leaves me the full 330-foot roll to go from the post right there, because there's going to be a gate there, from that post to the corner to the tree to the next post I got to put in there, and then another post down there, and then there'll be another big gate, and then over to that corner and back up to where we started. So I'll have plenty of wire. There'll be some left over. You know, depending on how much there is, I may move the post further away or go a little bit further that way, something to try to take up some of that, because I want as much space as possible in this first paddock for the goats. Because I plan on, like I say, I plan on getting me a livestock guardian dog that's going to live in here with the goats. And since it borders the chicken run, hopefully that will help protect the chickens as well. So I've got this one attached. All I've got, and I just went inside, that's why I'm breathing heavy. Went and got another T-post, because this old 2x4 was temporary when I done it. And started driving it in. This ground's so hard, we're supposed to have rain coming, so I'm just going to leave it there. It's in about a foot, you know, to the spade there. So I'm going to drive that in later and secure the fence to it. But then there's another T-post there, and then I'm going to run to this corner. And I'm just amazed at how it came out perfect to where I didn't have to splice another section of the new roll to this. I mean, I'm probably going to have 2 feet left over. And 2 feet, I can't get no closer than that. That's to me, that's just astonishing that I didn't have to do another splice and won't have to worry about it. Now, with the wire just standing there, the dogs can't get in anymore. They can't pull this wire back. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get the tractor up here this evening and pull this thing to this post and get it tight and nail it to this post. And that way I know the dogs won't be able to get in, because they were going under right here. And if I know y'all can't see the chicken wire, but it's been in right here. They were going under this fence right here because it was slack. So this wire is too stiff for them to push when it's pulled and nailed on tight. So hopefully that's going to solve the dog issue of being able to get into the pen. I'm also, you know, I told y'all I was thinking about buying an electric fence charger. Well, come to find out, my brother's got one, actually got 2, that he doesn't want. He's had them for several years and never used them. He's got a solar and just a plain electric. I'm going to buy the solar one from him, even if I have to put a new battery on it or whatever. And that way it kind of goes with my off-grid stuff. So I'm going to put a solar charger on here. I've just got to buy the insulator to get it off the fence. And I'm going to run a hot wire all the way around the bottom of the chicken pen and all the way around the top edge of the fence on the wire. That'll keep anything from wanting to touch the fence. And the only thing that won't be electrified will be the gate to go in and out. So that's the plan. It'll be the goat fencing should stop the dogs, and then adding the electric fence is going to also help deter any predators that want to get in. You know, like raccoons and things that might climb the fence to get in. That electric fence will stop that mess. So I got to get off here. It's supposed to rain. Cloud cover, show y'all the sky. So I may not get done tonight, but that's fine. There's all the way tomorrow. I'm not in a big hurry. It's taken me this long to get here. There's no need to be in a crazy hurry to get it done, but I want to get this thing pulled tight and nailed to that last post. And that way at least it's secured. And then I've got to buy the straps to come back and attach it to all the T-posts. But that's not a big thing because I don't have a huge long run of this wire with more than 2 or 3 T-posts in it. And tight as I'm pulling it with that tractor, I pull it until the tire starts spinning, y'all. So it's doing all it can do, pulling on that wire. And then I get off, I nail it in place, then I slacken it up, cut it, and start on a new place. So hopefully I'll get this done here tonight, and my pens will be almost predator proof. Dogs, whatever they are. When I get the electric fence charger and get it put in, it'll be pretty much predator proof from ground predators. Now, I can't stop hawks and owls and all that, but my owl decoys that I've got put up seem to have helped with the owls. I mean, with the hawks. I have not seen hawks flying over like I did before. I've seen them once or twice right after I put them up, but I have not seen hawks flying over since I put up those owl decoys. So they're actually seem to be working pretty well. So I'm pleased with that. It's an inexpensive way to make the hawks stay away. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave the 5 new hens in there with Sue. I do think they're too young to lay. They just haven't quite reached that age yet. I'm hoping in the next few weeks they'll start laying. But I may go back, like I said, and get me a few that are actually laying. I'd like to have at least 3. That way I'll get a dozen a week because they don't lay every day. And if I can do that, that'll keep me in eggs, and it'll help me keep some of my customers, with some eggs. So, anywho, I'm going to get off here. I appreciate you guys watching. Remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.